Hey everybody, welcome back. Today is November 8th and it's been 1 month since we did our last garden tour here in Zone 9B. This is our fall garden and I'm really excited to show you how everything's growing. We've already been harvesting lots of vegetables. There's tons of flowers throughout the garden that are showing up, lots of fruit flowers and lots of vegetables that are already ready to harvest. So I'm going to take you around and I hope you enjoy. So the last 2 weeks in my garden have just been so beautiful. It's about that time where everything is just so lush, everything's still green, blight hasn't set in yet, the bugs have not started to come out and take over your plants, and fruit and flowers are starting to bloom, and it has just been so beautiful and so fun watching the garden grow to this point. So I can't wait to take you guys around and show you everything. I figured I would pan and show you the actual layout of our garden. We also have a awesome hen house over there in our barn. We have 9 chickens, we have 2 cows and 2 pigs, which one is a 4-H show pig. I may take you around there in the end and show you those animals as well. But over here our collard greens have been doing really great. Look at how beautiful they look. Usually I grow my collard greens in full sun, but I needed to add some more plants that could tolerate shade in this area. So I decided to switch it up and try my collard greens over here, and they've actually done really well. These were supposed to be collard greens. When I bought them, the leaves looked exactly the same at the store, but somebody must have jumbled them around or got mixed up. I think it's broccoli, honestly. I'm not sure. I tried one of the leaves on the plant and it tastes just like broccoli. My bib lettuce and my other lettuce over here, these are baked. So we had a hard rain. We had a tropical storm actually come through and it just trampled a lot of my lettuce. So I lost a lot of it, but we haven't started harvesting any of this yet. I surely can. It's quite small, but I actually wanted to show you. I did a little lettuce bowl just to see how it would grow. I'm actually getting ready to do my first garden sale, and I'll show you guys a little bit of what I plan on selling. I figured it would be fun to join our local garden festival, take some of my plants and some of the handmade things I'm making from the garden that I usually would give to friends and family around the holidays. I'm just making extra batches and taking it with me to kind of show the kids, you know, how we can make money from some of the stuff that we're doing in our garden. So the kids are going to come with me and they're going to sell rosemary lemon tea and some seeds and different things that they're helping me make. So over here we have some radishes, and as you can see, these are called French dressing, and I learned about these on YouTube. Let me see if I can find one here. They actually, look at that. They're really nice. They taste a little spicy, but I love to harvest a few of these at lunchtime and have for lunch. I'm boiling my eggs from my hens and having some of those, and I'm also eating sprouts that I grow in my house. So this is always fun to just come out here and pick a snack, add it into your diet. Over here we have some celery, have some onions, and my kohlrabi. I've since put in some kale along the edges. I did not have enough space. I didn't know where to put everything. I kind of had an overabundance of food that I wanted to plant. So I have these cabbages. These are actually, right now, my husband and I's favorite thing in the garden just because they're so pretty. I also have some more radishes over here. I have some beets. Some of them made it, some of them didn't. I'm going to actually start planting some more. I also put in some romaine lettuce here. I've been harvesting a lot of lettuce off of this tower here. Some of my zinnias have opened up. Here's some of my rainbow chard that has been really fun to grow. I wish I could have done this video earlier when it wasn't so sunny so you guys could see a little better. Over here I don't think I had any of this planted in my last video, but what we used to have planted here is it was just a flower garden. We spent a lot of money at our local nursery making it all pretty and decorative, and I said, you know what? It was kind of getting overgrown. My husband's like, why don't you just pull it out? We saved the plants, put them in pots that were overgrown, and use it for food. Because every year I feel like I'm just not growing enough food to share with friends and family and to store. So this year was my goal to make sure we had plenty of food, and this is all kale here. I have kohlrabi. I popped the zinnia there. I have some more kohlrabi, some cauliflower there, some more cauliflower, and red cabbage I popped on the edges, kale, and another zinnia over here. This is actually, I don't know if y'all can see this, but one of my girls got a hold of a luffa. How fun is that? And threw it in the garden. And now I've got a luffa plant growing right here. We're gonna leave it there and just kind of see what it does. Maybe trellis it up our Queen's Wreath arbor here. So since our last video, the girls and I painted some little garden markers to kind of show what we have in the garden. Of course, my littlest one loves to pick them up, throw them in different areas, but at least we have them for years to come. They don't fade. Over here we have carrots. I have a cosmic purple carrot, and it's kind of pretty cool to watch these grow because their tops are purple also. If you can see there on the bottom. And then I have some regular regular orange carrots over here. I popped a few kohlrabis in here, and here is our Baker Creek zinnias. These are called zinnia lime color. They looked really pretty, and I never have planted these before, but look at how pretty they are. So those will be blooming and popping different flowers out throughout the year. They'll bush out really big. I made the mistake last year of putting the zinnias up there on the edges, and I planted them too close and they just got crazy big. Yes, they were beautiful, but I feel like they're just gonna thrive more with better spacing. So over here are my grape tomatoes, and these were actually given to me by another garden friend. And if you guys are just getting started, go to your local nursery, find a local garden club that you can get into, and start learning from friends. Start learning from your neighbors, because they are such great resources to teach you things and share things like this. I share plants with my neighbors and they share plants with me. I'm growing different varieties I've never grown before. This is something that their family has grown for years, and look at how pretty these are. Look at all those grape tomatoes. They're just beautiful. Look, there's a butterfly. Oh, I'm so glad. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And right there, our girls just love running through the garden and enjoying the bees and the butterflies and the flowers. It's just a beautiful space for the family to enjoy. So back to the garden. Here are my okra plants, and we had our first flowers last week. And let me show you a flower. And these are so easy to grow in our zone. I grow them in the spring and the fall. They definitely would need to be covered if we get a freeze, but they are quick and fast producers. As you can see already, I have a few that I could harvest. Right here is actually our first flower that we had. That's about 2 inches long. That is about what you want to harvest them at. You can definitely harvest them when they're smaller, but you don't want to let them get over 2 inches because they can get woody and tough. So that is what I like to harvest mine at. Over here, we have the Mongolian Sunflowers. These are Baker Creek seeds, and they're supposed to grow crazy big compared to the mammoth sunflowers that I've grown in the past. Over here, I have some pole beans. I popped these in actually right after our last video, and they're already you know, winding up the top. I have some a set over there as well. So those are actually quick producers as well. So if you're starting your fall garden late, you can always do squash or beans. Those are always fast producers if you're starting from seed. Over here I have some Brandywine tomatoes. I don't have any bulbs yet, I don't think. Oh wait, I do. I don't know if y'all can see that. But the first time I ever grew tomatoes, I had no clue what I was doing. And flowers popped up. And this is how dumb I was. I did not realize that flowers produce the fruit. So that is how I comment on the videos. Look at that squash. So we've already harvested a couple nice squashes. And yesterday the bees were just working over here. It was so neat to watch them go flower to flower. And look at all those squash that are about to come up. All those baby squash. A tip I have for you, if you don't have a lot of bees in your garden, first you want to definitely try to invest in planting some pollinator plants, like flowers, zinnias, sunflowers, and different things. Just go to your local nursery and say, hey, I need more bees in my garden. What should I grow? That is one thing that will help the bees come to your garden. But also, if you have trouble growing squash, you can always hand pollinate. And a farmer friend of mine told me that all you have to do is stick your finger or a paintbrush in the male flower, which is a flower that doesn't have a squash on it, and then take your finger or a brush, pop it in there, get some pollen, and then pop it in the other one, and it works. It certainly works. So hopefully that will help you guys if you're having a hard time getting your squash to produce. So over here I've got some peppers. These are lunch box peppers. My little ones are already harvesting those. And here I'm actually going to harvest. This is my favorite plant. These are called sweet banana peppers. I'm going to have these for lunch today. Y'all see those? So I'll just wash those up and eat them with some ranch. Over here I have some acorn squash and some spaghetti squash that has done crazy good. It's so hot right now. I mean, it's got to be like 90 degrees in our zone. So during the day, my plants struggle, but in the evening, the plants will kind of bounce back. Let me show you one of these. Look at how pretty this is. There is one of the squash starting to grow. I've never grown these before. I probably would have allowed a little more space because they are going everywhere, all the way into my kids' fairy garden area. But again, this area, we used to have lots of flowers. They were kind of getting overgrown. As you can see, they were like just big bushes. So we pulled a lot out, and I chose to grow vegetables in this area. Next year, if I have time, I'd like to turn our front yard area into a garden. It's just a lot to keep up with. So I'm going to take you guys up. Another butterfly. I'm going to take you guys into more of our peppers. We have some more banana peppers here. Oh, this is awesome. And I've got some jalapenos over there. Some bell peppers with different colors. We have purple. We have green and yellow and red. So here's a small green one here. Here are all my tomatoes. These are beefsteak tomatoes over here. And they've just been so beautiful and lush. So over here we have what's called 1,000-head kale. These are Baker Creek seeds as well. And they're supposed to get crazy big. You guys can go to their website and see how big they are, but that is what sold me on trying these out. It is still hot. And there's another butterfly. So they are wilting a bit, but so far they look pretty lush, and I'm really excited to see how big these are actually going to grow. So here's my sunflower patch over here. I've got 2 rows of what was supposed to be mammoth sunflowers, and maybe you guys can help me and tell me what happened to my sunflowers. This year I had put my trays out by our barn area, and an animal, maybe a squirrel or bird, got into my sunflower tray and dug them up. They ate some, they misplaced some, and as you can see, I have some true mammoth sunflowers right here, but some of them have kind of morphed and have side shoots of sunflower heads. They're beautiful, but I don't know what happened, and I'm curious to know, has this happened to anybody else? And this is why I love asking my viewers, because I'm learning from you guys. I certainly don't know everything, and it's so neat to see things happen in the garden that you're not expecting to happen. Kind of bummed because I really wanted to have this a nice patch and take some pictures with the family. But yeah, that happened to my sunflowers. Now I did plant different varieties like my Mongolian and my, I had an autumn mix that I did plant somewhere else over in our smaller garden, but I'm not sure what happened. If this is an autumn mix, maybe that got mixed into a different tray with my mammoth sunflowers. Anyways, curious to know if this has happened to you guys. Just something that happened in the garden that, you know, wasn't expecting. Over here are my snow peas that are extremely struggling. I don't know if they're just not getting enough water, but those are all supposed to be snow peas there. Some of my zinnias are popping up. They're little volunteers from last year. I'm just going to kind of leave them as they come up. Here are more of my pole beans. So I promised you guys that I'd show you the items that I'm selling at our local garden festival. This will be my first sale ever. It's always kind of been a dream of mine to have, to be able to make money from our garden. Not only save money in feeding our family, but also showing the girls that we can provide for the family with growing our own food. We can also provide for the family by selling plants and making items like our homegrown luffa soaps that we grow. We grow these luffas on our property, and then peel the casings off, cut them, and make our own soap, along with harvesting our sunflower seeds and luffa seeds. Those are just a few things that I will be selling. These are some beefsteak tomatoes. I have some mini bells, some kale, some cherry tomatoes, and some Brandywine tomatoes. I went ahead and put them in gallon pots, repotted them, been fertilizing them, been spraying them with neem to make sure they don't get eaten by bugs before the event. I also started some of my mammoth sunflowers. I'm going to put these will hopefully have sprouted by the garden festival, which is about 10 days from now. I also have some established sunflowers over at the barn I think I'll take as well. But the girls and I are going to sell some Myers lemon and a rosemary tea. So that will allow them to have some fun and kind of show them some experience on a little sale, their first little lemonade and tea plant sale. So I'm excited to do that, and I'll kind of update you guys on our next video, maybe here in a few weeks. Thank you guys so much for joining me in our garden tours and subscribing to the channel. It means a lot to me. I love this community of followers. I love when you guys comment. I do read all my comments and respond at some point. So if you have any questions, or if you have concerns, something I'm doing wrong or something I can do better, I always welcome advice. So I do not know it all, and I am not your perfect gardener. So please let me know. We'll see you guys soon.